So, you got my money?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 10K Bets. I am your host, Mike, and with me, we got Sammy Stats tonight. Sammy, how we doing?
We're good. We're good. We're getting to like the meat and the potatoes of sports. It's been a little while since we've been on here, but it is sure good to be back. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a great weekend. We have an just action-packed sports weekend, so I'm pumped.
Hell yeah. And even like during the week, I feel like we just have so much now.
Oh, we got everything. Yeah, there's like not an off day. It's whether it's weeknight action, there's NHL like every night. I haven't really dipped into NBA all too much. I don't really bet the regular season. I don't really watch it. It's something that I'll look maybe more into for the playoffs. Obviously, they start to play a little more defense, and I know there's like this, play-in tournament or something going on. I don't really, I'm not really following the NBA. I know the Wolves. Heard the good things about the Wolves here, which we'll dive into a little later. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Yeah, the only other thing, we got college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's new. That's fresh. I love that. Watched a ton last night. The Barstool Invitational, phenomenal. As a gambler, phenomenal broadcast. I just love it. Like,
awesome coverage.
If you've ever asked the question of like, what would it be like if just everyone on the broadcast just only talked about gambling implications and nothing about the actual game, like that is the Barstool Invitational, and like I think they did a great job.
Yeah.
If nothing else, super entertaining. I think I checked out at about halftime of the second game.
Yeah.
Last night, where it was like, I mean, Mississippi State just blew the doors off of Arizona State, which is unfortunate, but
Well, that's exactly what happened. I tell you, if they could just find a way to do more of those. Now, I've heard around kind of the grapevine that they like lose a ton of money on them because they don't really sell a whole lot of tickets, and it's like on a weeknight and it's early in the hoop season, but man, it is unbelievable. I mean, I could listen to those two all day talk about I'm really just like what they have, what they're gambling on, and nothing else about the broadcast. It's just screaming at people to shoot because they need 3-pointers from that specific player. They of course they bet the board, so they bet a side, they bet a total, they got all sorts of action. It's brilliant. I wish they did more of them. I know they don't really make a ton of money on them, so I heard they might not be doing them anymore, but they're just terrific.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, even if it's not basketball, they do still have the Barstool Bowl, so that's always a good one too. And there's usually a MAC team in there, so gets me a little amped up. It's basically bowl season action, which
absolutely.
I know we're going to talk more about college football, but I just got to talk, like, since we're on the topic of MAC, like the MAC, it has been decided. I don't know if you watched Toledo play last night. Toledo is an absolute wagon. They're going to run away with the MAC. There's no one that deserves to be on the same field as them in the MAC. And there's still like 3 weeks to go, and they've already clinched like their division.
I was even telling a couple of my buddies last night, and I don't remember the MAC being so lopsided. Like it never was. It was always a couple of teams battling it out, and it wasn't like massive spreads, and it was pretty good football. Honestly, this year, a little disappointed. It's like just kind of blowouts everywhere. You got the really good teams, and then you got the shitty teams, and the shitty teams are really shitty. So it's like, it's tough from a viewing standpoint, but nonetheless, it's weekday football. How can you, you got to take what you can get, and you can't be mad about it, of course. But I remembered Maction being like just smash mouth football back and forth, up and down the field. And I feel like I haven't seen a lot of that. It's only been a couple of weeks. But yeah, that's pretty much where I stand there.
True. Yeah. No, I feel you. Have you been any other, I guess, college basketball bets? You've been dipping your toe
Yeah.
into that so far?
Yeah, just a few. I would say I think I've started great, and I've been tailing Cam a little bit, who's been starting really great too. But I had Oregon, Baylor, +2 and that over on that Auburn game. So that was like a quick two unit winner there. Let's see. I had the first game last night, the -7 there from
FAU, right?
FAU. And then I also hit Mississippi State. Then I got greedy and I was looking to the other games and I saw UNLV first half -12. They were playing like Southern U, who just got like blown out. And it happened that Southern U is a decent team. I was watching it. UNLV's terrible. That line should have never been where it was. I think UNLV was like -21 for the game. UNLV lost outright by, I think, like 18 points. And they lost the first half by like 22. So that was a really dumb pick. Should have looked more into it. I just saw the Southern U got hammered game one. So I'm like, oh, this team's likely just horrible. And they're like +22 tonight. They're probably going to get waxed. That was not the case. So I threw back a unit last night on that. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, no, college hoops is back and I'm pumped because most of the games I've been watching so far have been bangers.
Yeah. No, so I agree with Veach here in the comments. I do love watching the shitty teams, hence why I watch a lot of, Gopher basketball. I watch a lot of MAC, all those teams. I get into it all. So especially during the week, it just helps move by. It feels like early in the season too, like when you get like NHL, like the Wild play twice a week and it's like 5-6 days apart and it's like, sweet. Yeah. So like you might get a Tuesday or Wednesday game and then it's like, all right, we don't play again until Sunday. Sweet. Like, so yeah, that's nice. I guess the real topic I want to jump to right now is the Wolves. We got to talk about the Wolves. I haven't watched much of the Timberwolves and, usually it's just same old Timberwolves, right? Where it's just, they'll blow 20-point leads, stuff like that. They'll lose games they shouldn't. They'll play down to their opponents. This year's a different story, man. Like after the first 3 games, you have wins against the Nuggets, you have wins against the Celtics too. Like those two, like we're talking about championship contenders, which is just something I never thought I'd see from the Wolves. And now, I got people talking to me, messaging me saying, what about the Wolves winning a championship? And I'm like, whoa. Let's chill.
Bump the brakes.
But it did make me want to look. I was like, where are they sitting at? And it's like plus 5,000 currently to win the championship. And the NBA's rigged, and my it's scripted game. So,
I agree wholeheartedly.
Let's put the tinfoil hat on for a second, though, and let's just say, Adam Silver wants to bring a championship to a market that hasn't seen one in quite some time. And after the Rangers won the World Series, Sammy, do you know who has the longest championship drought of a city with all 4 major pro sports?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but yes. Yeah, it would be the Minnesota Vikings, or is it the Wolves?
Oh, it's just the city. It's just the city. Okay. The city that has all 4
I was going to say, other than the Twins, we haven't
pick one.
So you can pick any of them, I guess.
The city, it's the longest drought of any professional market that has all of the 4 major sports. And so now sitting at, let's see, was it 32 years or something like that? It's 31 years. Yeah, great. Anyways, so yeah, in a league that's probably scripted. I think that'd be a great story.
It would be pretty damn cool.
Just give one, a little charitable action.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's pretty sad that we don't have a championship at all.
love the comment from Veach here. Never win another basketball championship. Yep,
we definitely have some hope here, Veach.
If you're looking for hope, that's the last guy to give hope in Minnesota sports. We just to for the other viewers, Veach was Kirk Cousins' number one hater for the longest time. And then he said, finally gave up. He's like, yep, you're right. You proved me wrong. And then literally the next week, Kirk goes down. I'm not saying it's Veach's fault. I'm just saying coincidence on the timing.
Sure. Yeah, no, as far as the Wolves go, man, yeah, I mean, obviously it's very early in the season. But I read some kind of stat. I don't know if somebody in our group message sent it or not. But like the Wolves have the best defense right now in the NBA, like the least amount of points allowed per game or something.
That's
something crazy that I would have never thought, especially for the Wolves, never really been too much of a defensive team. That's something cool to hear, something that, you know, I definitely would not have picked that for sure out of a hat. But yeah, I mean, shit, maybe they're a really solid team this year. Anthony Edwards, from what I'm seeing in the box score, is dropping like 25 plus every night. It's fun. I mean, it's fun stuff for sure. But again, it's so early. Let's, you know, kind of talk back, you know, when it's like game 27 and seeing how they're doing at that point. But yeah, maybe it's something to get excited about.
Who knows? Yeah. The text I woke up to this morning from one of my buddies said, Ant is literally 30% of the Sports Center top 10 today. Get him the MVP. That was the message. It was
38 or something crazy.
It's like, all right, yeah. Well, I saw the windmill. I was like, okay, yeah, you know. So yeah, he is a human highlight reel. And I hope the tides are turning for the Wolves. We haven't seen it in a long time. But let's shift over to another Minnesota team that might not be going as promising right now. Let's talk about the Minnesota Golden Gophers football team. Last weekend, an absolutely demoralizing loss to Illinois at home. Seemed like they were in control the whole game and then let it slip through their fingers late. Sammy, where are we at? Where are we at with the Gophers right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that loss cannot happen, right? Why they're not in like cover 2, cover 3, you know, nobody behind you kind of thing. Yeah, that one sucks, right? They had the game pretty much won. They were forcing Illinois to punt pretty much the whole fourth quarter, even into the third quarter. And then Illinois throws a deep ball on pretty much, it was their last possession. And the guy burns them and daylights. I mean, there was nobody even on him. So yeah, that sucks for sure. That being said, I heard there's still some scenarios they can still win the Big Ten West. It's hard. It's harder now, but I don't think they're dead yet, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think Iowa might be ahead of them potentially. But you know, they have the head-to-head with Iowa. So yeah, I mean, bottom line is they got to win out. And I know they play Ohio State, so that's probably not going to happen. But, you know, maybe they'll come back here. I actually like them this week. I don't know if I'm going to take them. What are they, +1 or -1 against Purdue? This seems like a total kind of bounce back, get right spot after a disgusting loss. I've watched enough Purdue football, and they are not good. They are really not good. I can't put any stock, and it's tough to say the same about Minnesota. But I will likely take the Gophers this weekend. I'm just not a huge Purdue fan.
No, I agree. There is, all right, so the scenario is this: to win the West, which how disgusting would it be to win the West at 7-5 and have the right to go play Ohio State or Michigan or possibly Penn State. They are still hanging on by a thread. But man, so they need Iowa to lose 2 of their last 3.
Which
I know they play Rutgers this weekend.
No points.
Yep, exactly right. No points. You can't win games without points.
Can't win games when you score like 3 to 6 points. So that can That can happen for sure.
Yep. I don't know who they play in 2 weeks, but I know their last game of the year is against Nebraska, who's playing better. They fumbled the bag a little bit, and I think they need Northwestern does. Anyways, the main one is Iowa needs to lose 2 of their last 3, and then you need to beat Wisconsin if you're the Gophers. And I think since Wisconsin lost last week, that pretty much does it. Yeah, so I think that there's something there, but if we're being realistic, I'd say hammer the Gophers this week. Coming off a loss, Purdue not good, and if there's anything I've known from watching this team for a long time is that they're going to blow the doors off of Purdue this week. They're going to play Ohio State tough in 2 weeks, and then they're going to get dismantled by the Badgers at home to end the season. It's the waves have just – it's a roller coaster ride, just like with most other teams. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, I think. But that's kind of how we're trending. Thought this team would be further along, but it's – there's a lot of young players. I think there's more young players than there are veterans on this team, which is the difference from the last 2 seasons.
Right. No, I hear you. Absolutely.
Got some hockey picks here from Veach.
AA hockey picks. Crazy. North Dakota money line. I know they're very talented. I know BC and BU are typically like top 15 in the country every year. Mini Mish under. Okay, I'm sure that's like 5.5 or 6. All right. See how that goes for Mr. Veach.
Right on. Let's talk some other college. What other college games do you like this weekend? I know we talked a little bit about Iowa.
Yeah, so I got 3, and I kind of hinted at one there. We'll start with the Iowa Rutgers. We're going under 28. There's no 28 points that's an embarrassing total. I mean, it's so gross that you just got to take the under, really, because you know that no points are being scored, none. I mean, I'm thinking like 6-3 final. Maybe a 3-0 final. I mean, this is that gross. 28 points is disgusting. That total should hit pretty much any day of the week. You could hit that total, playing blindfolded. But with this team, with these 2 teams, they don't score. Rutgers scores a hell of a lot more than Iowa, but Iowa has a good defense, and Iowa's offense is disgusting. That being said, the total's so low, you got to take the under. I think the total keeps going down because they keep having these like 7-3, 10-7, 7-0, 6-3 games. It's crazy. So I'm going the under 28. I'm going to keep it rolling. It's really gross. I understand that a few touchdowns early and it's likely dead. You just don't have too many points to play with. 14.5 is really crazy. But it's so low, I'm going with it. Under 28. We've taken some Iowa unders already, and they've hit pretty easily. You've said it in the past, Mike. Iowa has no problem playing the field game, the position. They'll punt a lot. 4th and 1s, they're not super aggressive. I see it under 28 here all day. Let's call it like a 14-10 Rutgers.
Ooh, that's even close. Like I feel like most of these totals, everyone freaks out because they're setting records for the lowest total every week, but it's still not even getting within 10 points. Like last week it was, 29 and a half or 29. Yeah, 29. Yeah, 29 and they scored 17. They didn't even get within 10 of the total. It's like how is that happening? They keep like it's going to get to a point where it's going to have to be within 10 of the total because they're going to be at 10. But yeah, like that was the crazy thing. As long as Brian Ferentz is around, which isn't going to be much longer, they announced that he will not be with the team after this season. He will finish out the year though. So for everyone looking to cash in on Iowa unders, time is running out. There might only be 3 or 4 more games left to do so. Yeah. The thing that I will say, a little buyer beware to add to this. We've seen what Cooper DeJean can do at times, and that defense where the defense and special teams are both capable of scoring points, and to the point where they are much more capable of scoring points than the offense. Yeah. So
No, I agree.
That's the only tag I would put. That's the only asterisk I would put near this bet. But it's been a pretty safe play. Iowa can't even run the ball. They obviously can't throw the ball with the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's an under. It's an under every week.
Yeah. I got it at an under. My next play, I'm going USC plus 15. It's a ton of points. Caleb Williams getting 15 points is a little crazy to me. Yes, USC's defense putrid, so bad, and Oregon's got a phenomenal defense. This one's a little disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. I could see Oregon. It's at Oregon. It could be a runaway blowout, but with how USC kind of kept it close a little bit with Washington last week. I know it was at USC, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been at Washington.
It was at USC.
I was at the Wild game, so I didn't see that. But I know they kept it close. It was a back and forth touchdown. There was like a million points. I'm going to go USC plus 15 here. Again, it's a little gross. USC could get the doors blown off them for sure. That defense is stopping nobody. I'm just hoping they can score to keep this within that 2 touchdown range. But this is just a 1-unit play. I'm not terribly confident in it, but just giving a quarterback like Caleb 15 points, I'm just going to take that. So that's just a 1-unit play. And then lastly, I got Michigan -5. This one is a little ratty. They are at Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
At Penn State. It is a whiteout for Penn State, which is always scary. I just think Michigan is the best football team in the Big Ten. I know they haven't played really anybody, but Michigan, what they can do on both sides of the football is pretty fun to watch, right? Their defense is locked down, and the offense scores. They can score through the air. They can score on the ground, a lot on the ground. They got a pretty good running game. But I'm just going to go Michigan -5 here. I know this is a game that's very ratty. I think a lot of the money's on Michigan, which kind of leans towards Penn State on the sharp side, but I'm just going to go Michigan here. I'm not going to overthink this. I think they're the better football team, and I think they're going to show that on Saturday. So those are my 3: USC plus 15, Iowa Rutgers under 28, and Michigan -5.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. The Michigan, I think that's definitely ratty. I'll say that. And I think that the Big Ten did a big favor to Michigan by forcing this game at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
That is absolutely disgusting if you're a Penn State fan. This game should be played at night. Michigan should have to eat everything in front of them. It's just a total disgrace that this game's being played at 11 o'clock. This should be under the lights and everybody knows it. Some other quick hitters for me. We're going back to the Big Ten West. I am also on the under in the Iowa Rutgers game. I'm going to take Rutgers money line as well. Just a little bit more trust in them moving the ball, even against a really good defense. Another Big Ten West game, Northwestern at Wisconsin. I'll take the 10 with Northwestern on the road. I never thought I'd say this at the beginning of the year, but Northwestern has been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And it's not just how they played against the Gophers. They've actually kind of played with some levels of consistency that I've never thought I'd see them without Pat Fitzgerald in the picture. So crazy to me that I'm saying that, but Northwestern plus 10. And then I got a couple SEC plays. I think this week Georgia gets a challenge.
Okay.
This week. I think I'm going to take – I took the points when Ole Miss played at Bama, and I got destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to the well here. I'm going to take Ole Miss plus 10.5 against Georgia. And then another play, Missouri played Georgia tough last week. They come home to a game against Tennessee, which they're a home dog. I'm not taking the points. I'm just going straight Missouri money line there. So, I'm saving my coins, saving my bankroll. I will be headed out to Sin City on Sunday morning. So
Viva La Vegas.
That's right. So I got a work thing out there actually, and so saving a lot of my bankroll this week for the NFL because I will get in there before NFL starts on Sunday. So I'm gonna have to dip right to the sports book and get my bets in. So, but I'll start with you, Sammy. What do you kind of like here in week 10 of the
Week 10.
NFL?
Yeah, this is a card that I thoroughly enjoy. We are gonna kind of speed roll this a little bit, but we are going Vikings +2. From what I saw from the defense last week, and some great promise from Mr. Dobbs, I'm gonna go +2. I don't think the Saints are all that great. I'm just not really sold on them. It could be a coin flip here in the end, but I'm just going to take the hometown team. The Vikings have made me some coin the last couple of weeks, really starting with that San Francisco game. So I am going back to them as well. And then moving on, San Francisco. They've lost 3 in a row. This is a get-right game from San Francisco, a real get-right game. They are -3. I think they finally get back to their old ways. I am going San Francisco -3. I truly think they are one of the better teams in the NFC. I'm sure anybody could probably tell you that, but they have lost 3 in a row. I do think they're going to bounce back here and, win pretty handily. So, and then the next game I got it is an interesting one. The Houston Texans travel to a hot Cincinnati Bengal football team. I'm going to take Houston +7. I like the touchdown number here. CJ Stroud is fantastic. He is legit one of the best draft picks, this year, really. +7. They've been putting up points left and right. The defense is okay at best. They're going to give up some points, but I just like having the 7. I think it maybe comes down to a field goal game. I also think it might be a little bit of a look-ahead spot for the Bengals. I'm just going to take Houston with 7 points here. The Texans have been very profitable against the spread this year, and I'm going to continue to take them, especially in a game like this. All these are just one-unit plays, so nothing crazy. But lastly, we're going Browns +7. I understand it's gross. I understand the Ravens are a fantastic football team, top of the division, 7-2 or something. But the Browns and the Ravens are always close. It's always tight. That division game, you're going to give the Browns +7 here. I understand it's gross, but I'm going to take the Browns +7. Do I think the Browns could get blown out? Yes. Am I betting that it's close? Yes. So we are going, those are the 4 plays. Vikings +2, Niners -3, Houston +7, and Browns +7. So 3 dogs there. Dogs might be barking Sunday. What do you got?
Oh, yeah. I like it as well. Dogs definitely going to be barking this week. Just to add real quick on that Browns thing. A lot of people are looking back, like since the Browns and Ravens have already played this year, they're like, oh, well, the Ravens destroyed them the first time. It's like, well, they had Dorian Thompson-Robinson started, which is fine. First career start. That both of those defenses are very, very talented, and I think that game's close. I totally agree with you on that one. I did not have that on my card. I might have to look into adding it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to back it up. I'm going to go early morning on Sunday. Breaking news. Breaking news. The Patriots suck.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's going to be I was do I do a pride bet to pick Patriots on German soil? Do I go with my heart where I just know the Colts are going to absolutely destroy the Patriots? That's where I was like, do I do the pride bet? It's like, no, let's do it smart. Colts -1.5, hammer that down. And then I say keep the points for the Vikings. I say Vikings money line. Right. And I spent the first, couple hours on Monday just like, why is the line like this? And it's like, well, look at the injury report for the Vikings. It's not pretty. And we don't know how many of these guys they're going to get. If you guys tuned in to State of Skull earlier, it's not looking great for the Vikings. A lot of guys that are limited participants Hawkinson is definitely going to be close to a game time decision. Same with Darisaw. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I got the Vikings still riding momentum, and that's the only game I have for the early slate. I just have that,
Okay.
and then
All right.
in the late games, Chargers +3. We're gonna go Lions off the bye. I don't like them
Okay.
entirely.
I looked at
right
the
now.
game.
I think
I looked at
that
the game, and it was
I
a
like the
stay.
Chargers.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I like how the Chargers played last week, and everyone says the offense has problems. But I think they
Losing you.
ran into a really good defense last. And then real quick, like the Cowboys -16. Oh, yeah. No worries. I've got Cowboys -16, and I've got Falcons money line and Raiders money line. Those are my last three.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think I like it. I might be adding plays to the card, but for now, we're just gonna go with those four. Yeah, do you have anything else? College, NFL, hoops?
Yeah, like I said, I'll be out in Vegas. And so I was looking at college hoops, what kind of matchups we'd be getting. And Tuesday night is the Champions Classic. So we get Kansas, Kentucky, and then we get Duke, Michigan State. So that'll be a good time. I don't really know. Man, Michigan State kind of worries me already. JMU. Lost to JMU at home.
That's crazy. What a loss that was.
Goodness gracious. So, yeah, I'll probably be riding with Kentucky over number 1 Kansas, and then I'll probably roll with Duke as much as it pains me to do so. So, but yeah, what about you? What other bets you got?
I just have one for Saturday night. It's a pretty big, kind of big, I guess. UFC card, UFC 295, I believe. Let me just get to the exact matchup. Yeah, we're gonna go with Sergey Pavlovich. He is +100. It's a title fight. It's a heavyweight title fight. He has Tom Aspinall. They call him the polar bear, the Russian polar bear. He is 18-1. Tom Aspinall's 13-3. I have seen some Tom Aspinall fights, and he is very talented. He's actually coming off an injury before his last fight, and he destroyed his opponent at the O2 Arena in London, which is where he's from. But I think it's such a toss up here. I'm going to take Pavlovich. I love the heavyweights; they're awesome. This is a total ground and pound type fight. You can get him +100. Again, just one unit, nothing crazy here. There's also Jiri Prochazka. I know I'm muffling that one. And Alex Pereira, which is another title fight, and that's like another pick'em. But I don't really have a great lean there. I like Pavlovich a lot better in this fight than I do any of the two other fighters in the next main event. So it's a double main event card. It's like two pick'ems. They're great fights. But I am going Pavlovich, the Russian polar bear. He's 18-1, and I can get him +100. I can get him even money. So that's where I'm going with on that fight. Other than that, pretty much just the college football, the NFL, and just one UFC pick. Currently, I might be adding to the NFL for sure, depending on how those first four go. But yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, no, plenty of just for me, it's like I always have like a focus, like I have my blinders on for football.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many other things to distract me, and I got to be careful with the bankroll because if you're not careful out in Vegas, they'll take everything from you.
Everything. So, you better watch out, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. So Well, yeah. If that's I suppose we can wrap
I
up.
think
Thanks everybody.
That's probably got it. I think
Cool.
we touched on the main things. Yeah, tune in. We're really pulling for every Thursday. Hopefully, we'll have some kind of crew here, and yeah, it'll be a good start to the weekend. So
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll be talking to you soon.
yes, sir.
Take care.